69 today, and to coincide with Bowie, that tells me he is a terribly intelligent, clever, talented man. He's a class act. Album or acting role even?
You know what? I think I know his #1 fan, but I don't know much about David Bowie apart from the images of the, good Halloween costumes you can come up with off the back of him. There's an amazing writer called Natasha Devon, and she's such a super fan that she did a kind of pilgrimage to Berlin to a record studio where he made one of his famous albums.
Oh, is that right?
And her boyfriend actually proposed to her when they got there because he knows how much she loves him.
Well, wow.
Yeah, so the boyfriend, or now the fiancé, and David Bowie are her two main loves.
Now, who else is great? George.
No, please.
Thank you. Start today with Y.
And a second.
T.
And a third.
S.
And a fourth.
D.
And a vowel, please.
U.
And a second.
O.
And a third.
A.
And a fourth.
I.
And a final consonant, please.
And a final B.
Laura.
This one is bodysuit.
Across the chat. OK. Very good. So,
Jen.
Can I have a consonant, please?
You can, thank you. Start with R.
And another.
N.
And another.
F.
And another.
T.
And a vowel.
E.
And another.
O.
And another.
E.
And a consonant.
C.
And a final consonant, please.
And a final P.
But those seem to be accent sevens that we can't beat.
Yes, please, Rachel.
Thank you, George. 4 from the top row and 2 more little ones coming up. And for the first time today, the little numbers are 10 and 6. And the big ones, 50, 75, 25 and 100. And the target, 302.
100 times 75.
100 times 75 is 7,500.
Add 50.
Add 50, 7,550.
And then divide by 25.
Yep, perfect. Well done, 302. Thank you, Jen. L.
And another.
R.
And another.
S.
And a fourth.
Q.
And a vowel.
A.
And another.
I.
And another.
A.
And another.
O.
And a final vowel, please.
And lastly, E.
I couldn't beat that.
No.
that's it.
Next time, Rachel.
Thank you, George. O.
And a consonant, please.
M.
And a second.
T.
And a vowel, please.
A.
And a consonant.
G.
And a second.
S.
And a vowel.
E.
And a consonant.
D.
And a final vowel, please.
And a final I.
Well done.
Small, please, Rachel.
Thank you, Jen. Had 4 large, now we've got... Oh, George isn't here. Right, let's see how we get on with this challenge. They are 2, 1, 8, 10, 3, and 2 fairly small ones. And the target, 227.
Is 30.
Yep.
Minus 2
28
times 8.
times 8 is 224.
And then add the 2 and the 1.
The other 2, perfect. Well done. 2, 2.
And all of them come in with an entourage of maybe, this was my...
Thank you, George. H.
And a second.
R.
And a third.
N.
And a fourth.
S.
And a vowel, please.
U.
And a second.
E.
And a third.
I.
And a fourth.
A.
And a final vowel, please.
And a final E.
Is it?
As well, just to bring the changes.
Thank you very much.
Please.
Thank you, Jen. P.
And another.
L.
And another.
T.
And another.
M.
And a vowel.
A.
And another.
O,
and another,
A,
and another,
E,
and a final vowel, please.
and a final O.
It from 1 point.
Please, Rachel.
Back to the 4 large. Thank you, George. And 2 little ones. Hopefully for you, you'll even this up. We shall see. The 2 little ones are 9 and 2. And your 4 large, 25, 50, 75 and 100. And this target, 322.
9 plus 2 is 11.
9 plus 2 is 11.
Times by 50 for 550.
Yep, 550.
And then 75 times 100 is 7,500. And
Yep.
then add the 2 together and divide by 25.
And divide by 25. Yes, and you do get there.
9 minus 2 is 7.
9 minus 2 is 7.
100 over 25 is 4.
Yeah.
50 minus 4 is 46. And
40.
multiplied by 7.
46 multiplied by 7. Yes, that's the more traditional way.
Consonant, please, Rachel.
Thank you, Jen. F.
And another,
P.
and another,
S.
and a vowel,
E.
and another,
A.
and a consonant,
N.
and a vowel,
U.
and a consonant,
R.
and a final consonant, please.
And a final G.
So 9 to 1 plays 8
We all-
with Mr. Bowie. Yeah. Super.
Please.
Thank you, George. T.
And a vowel, please.
I.
And a consonant.
K.
And a second.
V.
And a third.
S.
And a vowel, please.
A.
And a second.
E.
And a third.
U.
And a final vowel, please.
And a final A.
We had as well.
Yeah.
We thought we were going good guns, didn't we?
I like the vowel.
Please.
Thank you, Jen. N.
And another,
D.
and another,
W.
and another,
R.
and a vowel,
O.
and another,
I.
and another,
E.
and a consonant,
L.
and a final consonant, please.
And a final G.
Another.
Well done, Gloria. That's it.
Well, there's, in other words, an urbane and sophisticated person.
Consonant, please, Rachel.
Thank you, George. B.
And a second.
N.
And a third.
D.
And a fourth.
X.
And a vowel, please.
A.
And a second.
I.
And a third.
E.
And a fourth.
A.
And a final consonant, please.
And final T.
Peter.
Still all to play for 1 large and 5 little. Thank you, Jen. And the final numbers game of this week is 6, 4, 10, 8, another 10, and 75. And the target, 336.
75 plus 8,
83,
plus 10 over 10,
10 over 10 for 1, and 84.
multiply by 4.
Perfect, 336.
8 times 4 times 10.
8 times 4 times 10, 320.
And then add 10 and 6.
And then the other 10 and the 6. Yep, well done.
Again.
Have a nice
Your
weekend.
mathematical friend here, George. That was
Yeah.
sad, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's fantastic. By Bow Girl.
Tremendous. By a tremendous young woman.
Yeah.
Also, final4.com/countdown.